Let's get to Rams at Jags. Rams 3-point favorites on the road. Have we learned not to get the Jags a home dog this year? Come on. 44.5 points. They've won, I think, multiple games as a home dog already this season. Just disrespectful to this Jacksonville team. I love the Jags here. It's actually one of my locks, I believe, because you can't have a home dog in Jacksonville with the way this team has played this season.
I am not touching this game, largely because I think both teams are able to attack in ways where the other is weak. For the Jaguars offense against the Rams defense, mainly talking about Walker Little. Walker Little has been pretty good to start the year, just had 2 of the worst games of his career back-to-back. And it's because he struggles with power. He cannot anchor against power. That is not a good day. That's not a good week to struggle against power going up against
Jared versus
Byron Young.
I can't remember. Can Jared versus Bull Rush?
Yeah, I think that might be one of his that's one of his moves that he'll pull out. He got a pretty.
Does he have another? Is there another Jared versus move?
No, there isn't. It's that Marshawn Lynch quote, run through an MF face. Yeah. That's Jared versus pass rush move. Byron Young also wins with power. So if Walker Little cannot anchor in this game, you worry about it quickly becoming a game like the Seahawks, where Trevor Lawrence played pretty good, but you could tell that he was getting sped up relentlessly, and that sort of threw everything off. You can't run the ball. You couldn't throw the ball against the Seahawks. So I'm curious if they're going to be able to get their run game going, but if you want to attack this Rams defense, 53% of their total yards allowed in the passing game this year have come after the catch. They do not tackle very well because they don't have the athletes in space. And I think Liam Cohen said yesterday that there was going to be more options for Travis Hunter to be the number 1 receiving choice on a lot of passing plays against the Rams. And I was like, yeah, look at who they're playing. Look at their linebacker group. That's all Travis Hunter does is choice routes against linebackers and quarters, and he turns them into mincemeat. So I wonder if this is going to be a game where you don't necessarily see the fireworks show from the Jaguars offensively, not a lot of downfield stuff, but because they want to isolate these linebackers, this secondary in tackling, and want to make them play in space because they're just not that good of athletes. The Rams don't have great athletes at the second and third level. They have guys who are smart and can play off the roof, but once you get them in space, you can win a lot of ways. So I wonder if this is a big ETN game as a receiver. Do you get Bishal Tootin involved as a receiver? I already said Travis Hunter choice routes are going to be like the main route that you're going to see a lot of, hopefully, in this game. So I think there are multiple ways for this defense to attack the Jaguars offense, but it's also the same way for a Jaguars offense that has kind of lived on choice routes and yak this season.
This is what I will describe as a Liam Cohen special. This is why you have Liam Cohen. To me, he's one of the best screen game designers in the NFL. He's one of the best run game designers in the NFL. And that is what this game is. You are not going to drop back pass against the Los Angeles Rams with the state of your offensive line versus the state of their defensive line. You can get them upfield, though, and attack with screens. You can get them upfield and attack in the running game consistently. I like Tootin's over in the running game, maybe in the passing game too. I just think it's going to feature those underneath guys. Now, I would feel so much better about the Jaguars if they had Brenton Strange, because I think he's awesome in that regard. He is was such a crucial piece to this offense when he was healthy. Guys like Hunter Long, Johnny Munt are not him, I'll just say. So that's going to hurt. But I still like the Jags because I think they can scheme around it. And if Puka doesn't play, given the ankle injury, given that he came back but didn't look like himself, I don't think he even got targeted after he came back from it, hasn't practiced, doubt they would rush him back given how important he is to this offense. But that's the thing. He's so important to this offense that his loss in this game is far more impactful than any Jaguars loss in this game. And I think the Jags roll because of it. They only scored 17 points last week against the Ravens freaking defense because Puka was out.
I think for this game, if Puka is out, you really worry about Stafford against pressure. And I think it's important to get pressure on Matthew Stafford without blitzing. The Jaguars love to create those pressure packages, try and get guys on sim pressure looks. That is what they've really been really successful at. But when it just comes to winning with 4, they haven't really been the best. And it's not because Josh Hines Allen or Trayvon Walker sporadically haven't played good, because they've played really well. It's just the defensive interior is not doing what you expected them to do in pass rush. And now that Trayvon Walker has played, he played sparingly against the Seahawks because, again, wrist surgery. I don't expect to see Trayvon Walker fully until after the bye. So how are you going to generate pressure without blitzing against Matthew Stafford when Stafford is under pressure? His EPA per dropback is -0.2, which is really bad. And then when he's not pressured, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So how do you hide Greg Newsome in coverage? How do you hide your guys in coverage? Is with a good pass rush and zone coverage. You have to get home on Matthew Stafford. You have to make him feel it without blitzing.
You got to pick, JP? You're not touching it, but you got to touch it. Come on.
It's in London. It's in London. I'm going to pick the Jags. I think the Jags have enough to really attack this defense. And without Puka, I'm really, really worried about the sustainability of this Rams offense, because I don't think he's going to play in this game. Like, it's because you're going overseas, because it's an AFC opponent, and we're in week 7. I just don't see the Rams risking it. It would be unwise to risk your best player suffering a more serious injury later in week 7 when you're still like trying to fight to win the division at this point.
And with the weird travel schedule to London, it's like that. I agree. I'm with you.